Listen up, chosen ones. You are not like everyone else. You were never meant to fit into this world's broken system. You were never meant to follow the rules of the blind and the lost. You are guided, protected, and anointed by a force that no man can control. That is why they fear you. That is why they plot against you. That is why they throw every stone, every lie, every betrayal your way, hoping to break you. But they don't understand one thing: when you are divinely chosen, every attack only fuels your rise. Before we go deeper, if you know in your soul that you are chosen, if you felt the weight of betrayal, the sting of deception, but still stand stronger than ever, then do this, like this video. Subscribe, and comment below. The universe protects me. Because when we unite, no darkness can stand against us. Now, let's break this down. They moved in the shadows, whispering lies, weaving deception, thinking they had power over you. They laughed behind your back. They spread rumors. They sabotaged your opportunities, convinced they could bury you before you could rise. But here's what they didn't realize: when they came against you, they weren't just attacking you, they were going to war with the divine. And let me tell you something, that is a war they will never win. Because the universe does not sit back and watch its chosen ones be destroyed. No, the universe moves. It shifts. It corrects. It balances the scales. Every trap they set for you was actually a trap for themselves. Every lie they told about you became the poison that tainted their own name. Every plan they crafted to break you only led them deeper into their own destruction. They thought they were the puppet masters. They thought they were pulling the strings. But the moment they moved against you, the divine rearranged the entire board. Their arrogance made them blind. Their hatred made them reckless. And now, they are drowning in the consequences of their own actions. Let's get one thing straight: chosen ones do not crumble. They thought their words would shatter you. They thought their betrayals would leave you weak. They thought their manipulation would finally bring you down. But instead, they created the very thing they feared the most, a force they can never control. See, normal people crack under pressure. They let pain consume them. They allow rejection to define them. They let adversity rob them of their power. But you? You don't just survive the fire, you become it. Every single attack made you sharper. Every single betrayal made you wiser. Every single lie they spread only made your truth shine brighter. What they don't understand is that chosen ones do not absorb negativity, we transmute it. They threw darkness at you, hoping it would dim your light. But all they did was give you fuel. They thought they were draining you, but they were unknowingly feeding your transformation. And that haunts them. Because they see you now, standing taller, moving with greater power, speaking with unshakable authority. And they know, they played a part in their own destruction. They wanted to see you weak. They wanted to see you suffer. They wanted to see you doubt yourself. But instead, they forced you to find your true strength. Instead of breaking your spirit, they sharpened your intuition. Instead of stripping you of your confidence, they made you fearless. Instead of isolating you, they pushed you closer to your higher calling. Think of it like this: a storm does not destroy the mountain. The winds may howl. The lightning may strike. The rains may pour. But when it all passes, the mountain still stands. That is you, chosen one. They threw their worst at you, convinced it would bury you. But instead, you rise. You are no longer just standing strong. You are the storm itself. And now, they are the ones who cannot look you in the eye. They are the ones who feel the weight of their own actions. They are the ones who are crumbling under the very energy they tried to destroy you with. Now, they sit in confusion, wondering why nothing in their life is working, wondering why doors that once opened for them are now slammed shut, wondering why the very people they trusted are turning against them. And deep down, they know. They feel it. The weight of every lie. The heaviness of every betrayal. The unshakable presence of the very energy they put out, now coming back to them tenfold. They were so focused on trying to tear you down, they never realized they were the ones digging their own grave. That's the thing about divine protection. You don't have to seek revenge. You don't have to lower yourself to their level. You don't have to waste your energy fighting battles that were never meant for you. Because the universe always fights on your behalf. You are chosen. You are protected. You are untouchable. And they were never fighting you. They were fighting the divine. And that is a battle they were doomed to lose from the very beginning. Now, chosen ones, if this message resonated with you, if you've ever felt the weight of betrayal only to rise stronger than before, then let the world know. Fire like this video to let your presence be known. Fire subscribe to stand in unity with other chosen ones. Fire comment below, the universe protects me. Because when we rise together, darkness has nowhere left to hide. This is only the beginning. There are people who thrive in darkness. They live in bitterness, jealousy, and resentment, feeding off negativity like it's their only source of power. They thought they could pull you into that same low vibration. They thought they could make you doubt yourself, second-guess your path, and question your worth. They thought they could break your spirit and keep you small. But here's the reality they never accounted for. You do not exist on their level. They are operating in a world ruled by ego, control, and deception, but you exist above it. You are walking in divine alignment. You are connected to a force far greater than their schemes, their betrayals, their manipulations. They can try to attack you, but they will never land a single hit, because how can you be touched by something that isn't even on your frequency? They are like children throwing pebbles at the sky, thinking they can dim the sun, but the sun does not acknowledge the stones. It simply continues to shine, unaffected, unstoppable. They could never bring you down, because they were never high enough to reach you in the first place, and that frustrates them more than anything. They wanted to see you struggle. They wanted to see you react, to engage in their petty games. But instead, you stayed calm, focused, unbothered, and now, they are the ones drowning in their own chaos, while you continue to ascend. Chosen ones have the gift of forgiveness, not because they are weak, not because they are naive, not because they don't see the betrayal, the manipulation, the lies, but because they refuse to carry the weight of someone else's darkness. They forgive, not to excuse the harm done to them, but to free themselves from the burden of resentment. But here's where their enemies played themselves. They mistook that forgiveness for permission. They thought, oh, they forgave me? That means I can do it again. They assumed they could return whenever they wanted. That no matter how many times they betrayed, deceived, or disrespected you, they could always come back. Because that's how the world works, right? People tolerate abuse. People accept half-hearted apologies. People lower their standards just to avoid being alone. But chosen ones are not like the rest of the world. You may forgive, but you never forget. You may release resentment, but you never reopen closed doors. And when a chosen one decides to walk away, it is permanent. There is no pleading, no bargaining, no manipulating your way back in. They didn't lose you. They lost access to a rare, divine energy they will never find again. And when they finally realize that, When they finally see that no one else will ever treat them the way you did, it will be too late, because the door they thought they could walk through has been shut forever. People who manipulate, deceive, and betray always believe they are in control. They think they are the masterminds, pulling the strings, shaping the outcome. They think they can say whatever they want, do whatever they want, and never face the consequences. They believe they are untouchable, but what they fail to realize is this: the universe is always watching, and when you go against someone who is divinely protected, when you scheme against a chosen one, when you think you can manipulate, steal, and destroy without consequence, the universe corrects the balance, and that correction is swift, is absolute, is inescapable. One by one, the things they relied on begin to crumble. The connections they thought were solid turn to dust. The opportunities they thought were guaranteed slip through their fingers. The people they manipulated start to see through their lies. Everything they built through deception and control collapses right before their eyes. And the worst part? There is nothing they can do to stop it, because this is not bad luck. This is not coincidence. This is divine justice. They were so convinced they had control over everything, but now they are left powerless, desperate, lost. They thought they were the ones holding all the cards, but the truth is, they were never in control to begin with. Now, as they sit in the ruins of their own making, they begin to understand. They see the pattern. They feel the weight of their own energy returning to them. They realize that every move they made against you was actually a move against themselves, and it terrifies them. Because this is a battle they will never win. They were never fighting you. They were fighting the divine. They were going against the natural order of things. They were trying to manipulate fate, to twist destiny, to defy the laws of the universe. And no matter how much they try to run, no matter how much they try to undo the damage, it is already too late. They spent so much time focusing on controlling others, they never realized they were never truly in control of themselves. And now, they are the ones left wandering. Now, they are the ones searching for meaning. Now, they are the ones questioning why everything they touch is falling apart. And as they look back at the chosen one they once tried to destroy, they will see you, standing taller than ever, untouchable, unstoppable. They will see you living in peace, thriving in your purpose, walking in divine favor, and they will know they lost, not because you fought them, but because you never had to, because when you are chosen, the battle is already won. They thought they could break you. They believed their words would shatter your confidence. They assumed their betrayals would leave you broken. They thought their manipulation would drain your energy and leave you powerless. But they never realized, every action has a consequence. They weren't just throwing stones at you. They were throwing them at a cosmic mirror. And now, everything they send your way is coming back to them, magnified. They thought they were just gossiping, just scheming, just playing a game. They thought their actions were harmless, that they could do whatever they pleased without repercussions. But the universe does not forget. For every lie they spread, the truth is being revealed. For every attack they launched, their own lives are crumbling under the weight of their actions. For every attempt to control you, they are now finding themselves trapped in a life spiraling out of control. At first, they told themselves it was just bad luck, a minor setback, a coincidence, something they could fix. But then the weight starts piling on. Doors that were once open to them are slamming shut. People who once supported them are turning away. Every plan they make falls apart before it even begins. And as they sit in confusion, wondering why their world is collapsing, a terrifying thought creeps in. What if this is happening because of what I did? Because deep down, they know, they feel it. The very energy they used against you has become their own destruction, and you are untouched, unmoved, stronger than ever. While they are trapped in the consequences of their own actions, you continue to rise. They expected you to react. They wanted you to fight back, to argue, to engage in their drama. They thought if they pushed hard enough, you would break. But you didn't. You didn't explain yourself. You didn't defend yourself. You didn't waste your time proving them wrong, because chosen ones don't lower themselves to battles beneath them. And that terrified them, because when someone stays silent, when someone refuses to engage in the chaos, it makes people uncomfortable. They don't know what you're thinking. They don't know what you're planning. They don't know if you even care, and that drives them insane. They start overanalyzing every move you make. They create false scenarios in their minds. They convince themselves that you must be plotting something against them. But the truth? You weren't focused on them at all. You weren't plotting revenge. You weren't consumed by bitterness. You were simply walking away, and the moment they realized you had cut them off completely, no more access to your energy, no more insight into your mind, no more presence in your life, that was the moment they felt true loss. Because the most painful punishment is not revenge, it's indifference. When you no longer react, when you no longer care, when their words and actions no longer have any power over you, that is when they realize they have truly lost. Because now, they are left to face their own reflection, and without you to blame, without you to target, without you to focus on, they are forced to sit with the reality of who they are, and that is a battle they were never prepared to fight. Jealousy is a slow poison. At first, it starts as a small whisper. Why do they have that? Why do they get to succeed? Why do they keep winning while I keep struggling? Instead of focusing on their own journey, instead of working to better themselves, they became obsessed with you. They spent more time watching your life than living their own. They spent more energy trying to block your blessings than creating their own. And in doing so, they lost themselves, because while you were out there growing, evolving, and stepping into your destiny, they were stuck, trapped in their own bitterness, paralyzed by their own resentment, blinded by their own envy. And the more they obsessed over you, the less they focused on their own life. They thought they were slowing you down. But in reality, they were only slowing down themselves. They became their own worst enemy. They sabotaged their own opportunities. They wasted their own potential, all because they were too consumed with watching yours. And now, they are lost. They have spent so much time trying to bring you down. They don't even remember what it feels like to build themselves up. And you keep winning. Not because you sought revenge. Not because you fought back. Not because you tried to prove them wrong, but because you never let their energy infect you. You never let their jealousy dictate your actions. You never let their bitterness take root in your soul. You simply continued to rise. Unshaken, unstoppable, and they are left drowning in the very negativity they tried to drown you in. They wanted to destroy you, but the only thing they destroyed was themselves. You never wronged them, you never betrayed them, you never did anything to deserve their resentment, and yet, they hated you. They whispered behind your back. They twisted your words. They smiled in your face, but secretly wished for your downfall. Why? Because your very existence was a mirror they didn't want to look into. Every time they saw you, they were reminded of what they lacked. Your confidence highlighted their insecurity. Your strength exposed their weakness. Your success made them question their own failures. Instead of being inspired, instead of using you as proof that greatness is possible, they resented you for it. Because deep down, they knew, they could have worked harder, they could have healed their wounds, they could have taken accountability for their own lives. But instead of fixing themselves, they made you their target. They tried to tear you down so they wouldn't have to confront the truth. But here's the thing about the truth. You can try to hide from it, you can try to silence it, you can try to destroy the person who carries it, but it never goes away. And no matter how hard they tried to break you, all they did was further expose themselves, because the problem was never you. The problem was always them. You gave them time, you gave them space to change, you ignored the small betrayals, overlooked the subtle manipulations, and forgave them long before they ever asked for it. Because that's who you are, a person of grace, a person of patience, a person who believes in second chances. And they mistook that for weakness. They thought, I can do whatever I want. They'll always take me back. They assumed they could return whenever it was convenient for them, that no matter how much they disrespected you, they could always smooth things over. But chosen ones do not tolerate cycles of abuse. We are patient, but we are not blind. We forgive, but we do not forget, and when we decide that someone no longer has a place in our lives, that decision is final. There is no pleading, no bargaining, no manipulation that will ever work, because you didn't just remove them from your life, you elevated beyond their reach, and that is when they feel true loss, not because they miss you, but because they miss what they got from you, your energy, your wisdom, your protection. Now, they are left wandering, realizing that the one person who truly saw them, who truly wanted the best for them, is gone, and they will never find another you. They didn't lose a friend, they lost a divine connection that they will never ever get back. They expected you to fight back. They thought you would spend your days trying to prove them wrong. They assumed you would get lost in anger, bitterness, and resentment. But instead, you moved on. You didn't retaliate. You didn't argue. You didn't waste your time trying to make them see the truth, because you understand something they never will. The universe always balances the scales. You never needed to seek revenge, because the very energy they used against you was already circling back toward them. One by one, they are watching the doors close. One by one, they are feeling the weight of their own actions. One by one, they are realizing that everything they put into the world is coming back to them. And the irony, you didn't have to do a thing. You simply kept walking, kept growing, kept thriving, and now, they are left sitting in the ruins of their own making, trapped in the very darkness they tried to pull you into. You don't need to look back. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to wait for them to see the truth, because you were never meant to stay in a place that could not contain your greatness. They tried to break you, but you only grew stronger. They tried to stop you, but you only moved faster. They tried to control you, but you were never meant to be controlled. So keep going, keep rising, keep thriving, keep shining so bright that no darkness can ever reach you again. Because the truth is, they didn't destroy you, they only destroyed themselves, and when they finally realize it, it will be too late.